You're watching Suck Professor. Hey everybody, it's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James.
James, the ultimate god. Bow before him. Everybody worship my Lord and Savior. If James ever straddles you, everybody, be careful. So, wow, we just watched American Gods, and we're going to give like a quick review, kind of a recap summary, mostly our reactions and our impressions. We're not doing a whole shot-by-shot thing for everybody who's on our channel looking for that. We just can't. We don't have the production capacity to do that. Plus, we're getting ready to do Twin Peaks real soon, which is coming out. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to do shot-by-shots for that, which I think is going to be a hit. But people have been asking us to do American Gods. So we said, okay, fine. We're going to give the people what they want. We're going to deliver on our delayed promises. And here we are. We're just going to talk maybe 10, 15 minutes. I've already wasted the first minute yammering. So like, subscribe, Patreon, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows the drill. James? We just watched episode 1. We were introduced to a lot of the characters. I came into this very blind. I really didn't know much about it at all. I did have one moment spoiled for me at a comedy show, and we'll talk about that. Oh yeah, everybody, there'll be big spoilers here. So anyway, you should. Most people listening have already seen it. The show's been out for a few weeks already. So I didn't know anything going into it. Did you know anything going into it?
Nope. Didn't know a thing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Other than the title. American
Other than
Gods.
the title, yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first impression? What did you think?
The first impression was kind of a strange one because the show opens with this over-the-top, borderline serious, somewhat comedic shot of these Vikings traveling across the sea, landing on what I can only presume is America.
Can we rewind to the credit sequence? The opening credit sequence was like all kinds of really interesting imagery, American stuff, eagles and fucking violence.
Yeah.
Whatever else. I mean, I thought there was a lot of obviously very deliberate choices in that sequence, but that doesn't necessarily tell you any story time. But then it gets to this Viking thing.
Yeah, what would like Canadian guy look like? Just like stacks of pancake and bacon falling in slow motion.
Yeah, syrup, ham, although they call it bacon. Yeah, leaves.
Hockey pucks.
Legal weed in
Moose.
Vancouver. Yep. Yeah, and just politeness in general. Yeah, Canadian Gods look like just a dude helping another guy fix a tire. That's how. Yeah. that's what Canadian Gods are. America, it's like flaming buffaloes and wild wings. Okay, so all right, Vikings show up.
So they land on the shore. They're out to sea. They don't know if they're going to find land. They hit the shore. Guy takes a step towards a tree line. Gets hit with a comical amount of perfectly aimed arrows.
Yes.
And that was presumed to have been directed at them by a god or gods.
Something
who inhabit the island.
Yeah, nobody missed. Not a single arrow missed, and his whole body became a pincushion. I thought that was funny, but really telling for the kind of choices the filmmakers are going to make in this series. Yeah, I thought that was a great choice.
Yeah, and then it goes into them trying to conjure wind to get back off the island, not being able to do so, sacrificing their own eyes, killing a member of their own group, and entering into mortal combat with one another with these over-the-top 300-style gore fest.
Yes, yeah, they stepped up from 300. It's like you know how cars get better every year they come out. Like it's like 300. This is like the year 2017 300. Like weird, like the severed arm flying through the air. Yeah. I noticed that sword went outside the letterbox. I might have imagined that or something, but it looked like the little tip of the sword went outside the black bar at the top of the screen. Anyway, and then it stabs the dude. The whole thing was crazy over the top, but it's done with such. I thought it was done with confidence. It didn't seem. It was silly, but it wasn't stupid.
What was it trying to convey, though? That man will do absurd things in the name of religion if it means his own survival. That man's faith is deep enough to warrant crazy actions. But the show is purporting that gods do exist, so it's not trying to make light of man's decisions to harm himself.
I think the point of the opening sequence, because it was 100 years before the next set of Vikings came to America.
Before Leif Erikson, they mentioned.
Leif Erikson, because the Vikings are known to be the first Europeans to land in America. That's been proven. It's not Christopher fucking Columbus or any of those assholes. I think they're showing that there's a like people from the old world, the Vikings, have walked into something they have no idea how to handle. They're not equipped to deal with the forces and physics and rules and ethereal whatever godly machinations that exist on this weird land that they just discovered. Because they barely got to the edge of the grasses when those arrows hit.
So it's establishing that America is a place where the gods have always been. This is their point of origin.
Well, or the gods or just American gods?
Well, we're talking. The show is focusing on American gods.
Yeah. So, but not the. I think that's the word. That's a distinction we should make, at least in what we're saying. Like, or I would like you to explain it. Explain yourself. No, I'm saying you don't mean the gods like of the planet, but like.
Yeah, this is like a very polytheistic kind of show, and then it shows that there are dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of gods. Almost we don't know yet.
I mean, it's similar in a way to polytheistic is a good way to say it, like the Roman gods, the Greek gods, because they were embodiments of human emotions and human foibles and follies and triumphs.
They had a god for everything.
Yeah, but that as a way to explain all their different facets and the way that they understood them and to fit into their context of their society. But their gods were driven by vengeance, lust, love, passion, all sorts of human traits. It does seem like this is, like a polytheistic type of thing. We don't know, though. I mean, so anyway, we don't want to get too bogged down. We're already 6 minutes into this.
Okay, so how about just a brief recap of the events that happened in the show?
All right.
So the first episode is really more exposition, establishment of characters, not a whole lot of plot progression, but essentially our main character is a guy named Shadow Moon.
Yes.
He's in prison. We find out that he's got a funny name. He's got a funny name because his mother was a hippie. She named him that because that's what hippies did back in the day.
He's got kind of a goofy buddy in prison, but he's under great threat. From like the white guys in prison, they keep doing the thumb thing. I mean, prison segregates themselves. Prisoners often segregate themselves by race. It's a real weird.
And we should mention Shadow Moon is an African American man. He is in prison, but he's going to get out in 5 days, and all he wants to do is get out to see his wife, who's waiting for him. He talks to her on the phone. Says she spills the beans on a surprise party that she's throwing with his friend Robbie. And
there's some foreshadowing, and he senses the weather.
Yeah,
feeling.
he senses something's different.
He's like a dog. He's like, is there a storm? Is there a storm coming?
He says something like the weather feels constipated, like it needs to just get one good storm out.
Yeah, kind of like I feel
like he can taste or smell snow in the air, or something weird.
Something like that. Yeah. Like after I have Del Taco, I need to just just break the toilet for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So this part was pretty obvious to me because he's sitting in prison. He's waiting to get out. And he knows 5 days until he's released. So in order for there to be a catalyst for a journey, for him to be thrown astray into the wild where he has his point of no return, where he can't maintain his course, he either has to get thrown back into prison, which would make for a much less interesting show, or he has to get out and his life has to fall apart by something happening to his wife, which turns out that's what happens.
Yes, so he finds out his wife, he gets called into like the warden's office, and he's like, all right, we're going to get you out 2 days early.
To attend the funeral because his wife died.
Your wife died.
He doesn't know how, the circumstances of what happened. All he knows is that it happens, and he's obligated to go and get across country to see his wife. Yes. So he goes to the airport.
He goes to the airport. He did find out she died in a car crash before the airport, I think. Was it in the newspaper? I don't remember, whatever. Anyway, can't get a flight, struggles. I recognize the actress who played the flight.
Not attendant, but
the gate attendant. The gate clerk. I don't know. What do they call it? Airport lady. Yeah, the plane lady that goes, all right, boarding here. All right, everybody, get on the fucking plane.
The one that you think you're in group 1, so you're going to get on soon, but now ultra premium select. Now anyone with children or elderly people who might need assistance. Now anyone who is on our triple platinum club may board. Now boarding military personnel. Now getting ready for anyone with oversized baggage.
Anybody with a stroller, get on the fucking plane. That's when I kick a kid out of the stroller and I jump into the stroller.
And then you're just sitting there looking at your ticket saying Group 1, and everyone else has already gotten up and standing up trying to form this giant blob of a line because no one wants to sit down and wait because everyone has their oversized bags. They want to get up into the overhead counter because they're not mature enough to sit down and wait till their freaking turns until a freaking group is called.
Okay, that was
And you're in Group 1, you should be up there before them.
That was an excerpt from James's upcoming memoirs. Go fuck yourself, airplanes.
I hate flying.
Actually, you wouldn't say fuck you. You wouldn't.
I hate flying so much.
I can tell. I'm sorry. Well, James, if this channel works out, we're going to get you a golf cart to drive around in. To go, okay, all right. Anyway, back to the story. So he's got to stick around for a couple of days. He sees a guy kind of weak, kind of wimpy man going, oh, man, I need to get on the plane.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, but you, as a viewer, you know this guy is going to be something big because it's Ian McShane. He's a known guy. He was in Game of Thrones. He was in pretty much a billion other things
before that. He's the Deadwood guy. He played, he played a really powerful, crazy character in Deadwood. Yeah. That's sort of I would say that's one of his penultimate. Is that the right word? I don't know.
You could say that. His magnum opus.
One thing he's known for. Yeah. So, Anyway, they end up talking on the plane, and he kind of takes to him right away, and he's suddenly a different man on the plane, and he offers him a job.
Well, actually, a woman is sitting in Shadow Moon's seat, and he gets put into first class.
First class, yeah, because he's like, I just get, and that's a nice thing. I had first class once, and man, it was amazing.
I got put in something that I think was first class. It was in my own little cubicle. It was amazing.
What? That's even better.
It was incredible.
Wow.
I could stick my legs straight out and not even touch anything.
That's great.
It was
you can't
amazing.
even do that in this apartment. That's wonderful. So then...
to make a long story short, he finds out the guy refers to himself as Mr. Wednesday. He offers him a job. Mr. Wednesday appears to know more than he should know, but doesn't seem to be as forthcoming with that information as he is later in the episode. The guy says, basically, I want you to work for me. The guy says, no, I've already got a job lined up at the gym with my friend Robbie. And the guy's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't. He's got all the answers. He's always one of those guys who always knows exactly what to say at any moment.
He's mysterious, and he is apparently...
He's obviously a
supernatural,
kind of a griftery, sort of scummy, like knows how to manipulate people, knows how to say, knows how to get what he wants. He talks.
That's what he says about himself. Is I'm a guy who always gets what I want eventually in the end.
He even talks the waitress into letting him keep his drink.
Flight attendant, waitress,
the air nurse.
Yeah.
So then he has a dream. Let's talk about that dream real quick.
Yeah, he's walking
dream sequences are a little hacky. They're a little overdone, but I have kind of a lot of patience with them because we all have our fucked up heads with our fucked up dreams, and they are a big part of our lives and our consciousness anyway. So you can't ban storytelling from not including people's dreams, even though they're a little bit overdone. Anyway. So he comes through this weird sort of earthy tunnel, and he sees this big tree. Now, he'd already seen the same tree before when he was walking. When he had that brief vision.
It was like a petrified forest with the ground was made of bones, and the trees had pointy, sharp fingers and attacked him and cut his face.
They were like the descendants of the apple-throwing trees from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, and there was this big, weird celestial image in the sky above them.
Like when you go to a nursing home and an old lady thinks you're her grandson or her husband, and she starts reaching for your face, and her hands go down to your belt buckle, and like, no, run! Yeah. I don't even work here anymore.
I first learned about that from a Full House episode where DJ goes and finds out that one old man keeps saying, come and watch Howdy Doody. It's on. And Danny Tanner has to give her a sit-down emotional scene about what Alzheimer's is.
And then Kimmy comes in and starts undoing belt buckles. Okay, enough of that. Yeah, that's gross. So he sees this big crazy tree again, but then out from behind the tree walks what looked like I thought it was from a distance like a goat.
I thought it was a warthog at first, but then it got way too big to be a warthog.
Yeah, we saw it up closer. It's like a bison or buffalo with the spikes that come off its face, whatever those are called, horns,
tusks,
horns.
Well, tusks if it was a warthog, but if it's a bison, it's horns
that are getting
big. Warthogs have those, not bison.
Tusks are mouth horns.
Yes.
Anyway, its eyes are flaming, and it's like kind of shooting sort of a controlled stream of flame out of its eyes.
What better symbol for America than a buffalo?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, that kind of stuff, because there is a lot of lore, a lot of imagery, a lot of parts of our national story that kind of I think they're going to play with. I mean, it's a great concept or conceit for a show, because you can basically say, let's take things that aren't religious in nature and let's convert them into mythological status. And that's really compelling. That's one of the reasons I'm kind of excited about this show.
You think Ronald McDonald is a god?
I hope so, yeah. We all already know that Burger King guy's a god.
Yeah.
He's the god of awkward orgasms. He always shows up when you're in bed. And
what about the hamburger helper glove?
Yep.
I would worship him.
I think the Kool-Aid guy is going to turn up. He's going to come busting through a wall and then probably like murder somebody with his big round belly. We'll see, man. Who knows? So anyway, it's already almost 15 minutes.
We'll get there. Let's keep it. Okay. So he got off the plane. He turned down the job from the guy, Mr. Wednesday, and he finds himself eventually in a bar. And it's a very cool looking bar. It's got like this big alligator motif. It's the teeth have lights in them. The seats are alligator heads.
You're jumping ahead a little.
Well, right before that, we get introduced to a woman.
Yeah, a separate storyline.
Yes. Of a man who looks like Steve Bannon coming in and sitting down in front of this woman who says, she actually has a picture of him on her phone because they're dating.
They're online. On online dating thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad my kids got me on here. Wow, you're so pretty."
He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but she takes him back to her room.
They don't seem like a natural match, by the way.
No, God, no. Yeah. And this is all red room, and is like idols and
candles.
Yeah, clearly we could tell she was a god because she has these like weird statues and stuff around. It kind of looked mythical almost.
Although none of that would slow me down a single bit if I went back to a chick's place and she's like, I'm gonna light up my god candles.
Yeah,
like,
so,
all right,
so
whatever.
she starts banging him and then says, worship me, and it's almost as though she's controlling his mind, because he starts saying things that he would have no way of knowing, like, goddess of wine and honey, she who cowers before none. He
comes up with this sort of old-timey verbiage, like giving her exactly what she wants. Weirdly, he even said he called her the queen of concubines and maidens, the mother of all beauty, or something like that. I was trying to take some notes, and so she's getting it on. They're having a good time. He's like, "Whoa, it feels great," And for the actors, I was like, "Wow, big old kind of older guy, and he's get to just be naked with a young lady. What a lucky
Well, she
fella."
was. She wasn't all that young.
I mean, the actor. Him and her are
in reality, yes.
In shooting this scene.
Okay, because in the context of the show, she was supposed to be, I'd say maybe in like mid-40s, late 40s. Not old.
Her? No, she was younger than that. I read her as in her 30s. Anyway,
I got an impression she was older.
James is looking at me the way Judge Judy looks at defendants.
Because the whole point was that we'll go ahead and tell.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Say what happened.
So anyway, this is actually what was spoiled for me at a comedy show. Some guy mentioned that what happens is she eats him with her vagina. She gets on top, and he starts getting into the thing, and starts going, "Queen, my angels, I worship you," and he's really starting. He gets super into it, as if his mind is being controlled.
But there's no like blood or chomping or gnashing of teeth or anything, and screaming and fighting.
He never turns into like, "Oh fuck, stop!"
He's like in a trance.
He's kind of just going, but he sort of gets smaller and smaller in his head, and he just sort of and gone. Yeah. There's even no sound effects. But she's super into it. She even uses her hands to like get his head in there. It's like a reverse birth. It was really fucking crazy. I was a little turned on, I gotta say, James. That's true love. That's the new standard for love. If you bring me some Chipotle, no. Eat me with your vagina completely.
Yeah, that's like a vor thing.
Yeah.
You've heard about them?
A what?
A vor or something?
Oh, is that a kind of animal?
It's some sort of like weird internet online fetish where people picture themselves being eaten alive by people or creatures or something.
Those are weird.
I don't quite understand it.
I don't understand that. The fetishes, enough with the... I mean, I have a fetish. My fetish is women that have sex with me. That's I like naked women who are into having sex with me.
That's a little far-fetched.
It's a little, yeah. Let's go. Naked. You don't even have to be naked. We just need to get the important parts out. So anyway, that is weird. There's so many strange fetishes. So that scene was nuts.
But after she absorbed him, she became younger.
Yeah, she appeared like healthier. Yeah. Like that was like a big meal. She's basically like a spider. I don't think spiders don't look younger when they eat something. But like she kind of consumed him and did it in a very dramatic way. So.
Yeah. So then after that scene, we cut back to the bar. Yeah. So we're in there.
Because he's chosen to drive across to get to Wisconsin. Is it Wisconsin? Eagle Point?
Yeah, somewhere like that. Because basically he didn't want to take the flight the next day, so he gets in the car and drives, and he goes to the bathroom, and lo and behold, who walks into the bathroom behind him?
Dr. Wednesday.
Yep. Mr. Wednesday comes in, still, even before he walked to the door, saying something like, still going to take the job, but not going to consider it? time's not up. Something like that. Yeah. So this guy is clearly following him, Mr. Wednesday. Shadow Moon. Shadow Moon.
By the way, those are two names. Shadow Space Moon. It's not all one word. Because his wife's last name was Moon. Yeah. I saw it on the.
His first name is Shadow. So last name is Moon.
Yeah. I know. You knew that, but it took me way a long time because I could conceive if you have some kooky name like Shadow, it's just as nuts to have your name be Shadow Moon, all one word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the only point I'm making.
What if that was his name? He had like a really boring last name.
Yeah.
Like Shadow Moon Wilson.
Hi, it's me, Shadow Moon Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, Shadow Moon. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so essentially he's in the bathroom, meets the guy again, comes out, and he says, okay, here's the deal. I'll flip a coin. If it lands, in your favor, I'll work for you.
Yeah.
So they go through this whole ordeal, ends up flipping and landing the way that Mr. Wednesday wants, so he's kind of locked into a deal. But in the meantime, he meets another character named Mad Sweeney.
What? Yes.
Who is this bizarre guy who introduces himself as a leprechaun, but he's very tall. He's actually the guy who plays Pornstache in Orange is the New Black.
Oh, really? I've only seen a few episodes of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, he's like the weird, creepy guard in the early episodes.
So before we meet the leprechaun, whose name is Pat Sweeney,
Mad Sweeney.
Mad Sweeney?
Mad Sweeney.
Oh, I've heard Pat because I'm a racist. the Dr. Wednesday reveals with the newspaper, because he's got the and he shows him that his wife had been killed with another person in the car, a guy named Robbie, who is his friend, and also earlier when he turned down the job, he said, I got a job at my buddy Robbie's gym.
Yeah, and he has been trying to call Robbie throughout the periods of time we see him on the phone, but he's not getting through. Now he knows why he's not getting through to his friend.
So we assume it's an affair. It's a pretty safe bet, but you don't have.
They both died at the same time in the car, but maybe they could. They're planning. He knew that they were planning a party together. Maybe they're going out to the store to pick up. There's other
innocent explanations.
It's not obvious.
They're friends. They're all a group of. And so it does make it's plausible. But anyway, so then he meets Mad Sweeney.
Yeah, and Mad Sweeney is mad.
Yeah, he's a little intense. He's like the worst frat guy ever. He wants to fight. He wants to do coin tricks.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a fighter. He's clearly a fighter. And Shadow Moon is also a big guy who's essentially going to be the bodyguard for Mr. Wednesday.
Yes, they go through some sort of drinking ceremony to sort of seal the deal.
Yeah, with nectar. Shots. What was it? Nectar and ambrosia.
I thought he said mead.
Mead, yes, the food of the gods,
which is a honey-based beer, one of the earlier beers. Yeah.
And there's 3 shots. He basically says the first one is like for starters, the second one seals the deal, and the third one's for fun or something like that.
For I don't know. So he says some word.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But all the while, Mad Sweeney is really wanting to fight Shadow Moon, but Shadow Moon doesn't want to do it. He's sitting back. He's reserved. He tells Mr. Wednesday originally says something like, "Okay, I'll hurt people if they try and hurt you, but I'm not going to hurt people for." Pleasure or for fun. Yeah. So Mad Sweeney basically picks up the paper, starts talking trash about the guy's wife, gets him into a fight. They fight, and it's a pretty insane fight.
Punch, ouch, ooch, ooch. Yeah. Tough guy. They take turns. They hit some good shots.
Yeah, Mad Sweeney's enjoying it, but Shadow Moon is not enjoying it. But it kind of ends at a point where we don't know how it ends. It kind of freeze frames with them locking fists again.
Yeah, right. After Shadow had gotten the upper hand on him, sort of, but Matt Sweeney sort of just let it happen because he's like taking these punches, going like
and talking to him while it's happening.
Yeah, this is essentially what happens when I convince James to give me a massage.
Yes,
I go, yeah, baby, keep it up. And James goes, I'm not enjoying this at all, but I learned in prison.
Mm-hmm. All right, to keep powering through, we get to the funeral, right?
Yes, right. So they end up in Eagle Point.
Yep, so Shadow Moon gets to the funeral. He kind of stands next to Audrey, who was his wife's best friend.
Robbie's wife.
Who was Robbie's wife as well. And she's kind of acting strange, as though this is all a joke to her. It's funny. She's making light of it almost. She's grieving, clearly.
Yeah, she's in an agitated,
but she's not speaking in a
state.
Respectful way towards the dead, because she knows something that Shadow Moon doesn't know that she fills him in on. Yeah. And that was...
They were banging.
Yeah,
Shadow or Robbie and
mouth
where's
banging.
The wife name? Well, mouth banging, but I'm sure there was probably other orifices involved in their exchanges.
So something like they got hit by a train while she was performing oral services on Robbie.
Oral services, yes. Not to be confused with moral services, which is what you get at church.
And apparently there's a lot of gory details how his little dude came off in her mouth.
No, explain it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a technical.
I want to hear James explain this in great detail. Go ahead.
A part of him was severed during the impact of the train, such that the part remained in the oral cavity of the female passenger.
Oral cavity. She chomped off his pecker with her BJ mouth.
Yeah, so basically Audrey's not having a good time.
They were hit by a train? Is that?
I think they were hit by a train.
Oh,
so Audrey's not having a good time because her husband's dead, but he was dead having an affair with Shadow Moon's wife, who was her best friend. So she lost her husband and her best friend.
Right.
Meanwhile, Shadow Moon loses his wife and his best friend.
Yes.
So they're kind of peas in a pod at this point.
And it also, this is a public service announcement for everybody out there. Just don't do roadhead unless you're in traffic and you're not going that fast like I did once. Wink, wink. High five. All right, James. Sorry, I've had most of it's been bad, but there's been a couple good days.
Yeah. So there's a brief scene where Audrey goes and relieves herself on Robbie's grave, then comes over.
Now we
Shadow.
didn't see that shot.
We see her like coming back and pulling her pants up, or pulling her whatever up.
So there was a cool effect there where at the funeral, I'm rewinding just about 2 minutes from what James was just saying, where Shadow is at the burial service for his wife. I thought we heard her name. I don't know her name.
Laura Moon.
Laura. Okay. You think it'd be called half? Get it?
Yeah.
Not funny. Not even close. And he pushes the button to lower it down.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing catches. I like that little detail. That's the kind of stuff. If I were ever able to make shows and stuff, it would be like that would become the whole next half of the episode, which is some fucking because the coffin gets stuck and then like a bird comes and poops on it or something. But the guy like has to go like knock the coffin over, and then anyway he sits there and they did this like sort of slow motion camera. I guess dolly or jib sort of shot, but like with the things, so he's sitting really still, and so he's there late, and then he finally opens up. He's been very quiet.
Yeah,
he's going, you fucking, why didn't you tell me you didn't want to love me? And like he's just expressing some of his feelings.
Yeah, venting his frustration, and that's when Audrey walks up behind him.
Yeah, and I do that. Like if McDonald's doesn't put enough ketchup in my bag, I stare at it.
We should go to McDonald's.
Yeah, we should go to McDonald's. Hey, let's revive an old tradition, James.
Yeah.
You and I, we'll feed each other slowly.
Yes, but anyway, so she's already been over doing the same thing at Robbie's grave. She mentions that Shadow Moon missed Robbie's funeral, but she said, I don't hold you, accountable for that because, circumstances and all.
She comes staggering up though, kind of drunk.
Yeah, but she's drunk, and she essentially says, you know what we can do? Let's do what they were doing. Let's screw them. I want them to see us do it. So she tries to come on to Shadow Moon in an amorous manner, so as though to join in an unholy union that could potentially produce a child.
Well,
the second offer.
Yeah, maybe in
done.
phase 2, not in phase 1. Boy, you got a belly baby. You know something. There's some leaking going on down there. She offers. She says, "Pissing on his grave wasn't enough for me. Let me swallow all your jizz
and then spit it onto the grave."
Oh, did she offer to spit it?
She did not want to swallow it. She wanted to regurgitate it upon the grave.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's how baby birds get fed. You know, why not? Maybe she's an environmentalist. So he's like, no, it's not. And there was a funny line. She sort of pushes him back on like a bigger grave, and she's like kind of climbing up on him. She's like, I want to fight. Let's fight. She's really aggressive. I like aggressive women because I'm dumb.
For me, the funny line was, I'm trying to get my dignity back.
Yeah. She's like, he's trying to get I'm trying to get my dignity back. But yeah, like I was saying, like when a woman's aggressive sexually, I'm always appreciative of that because I'm like, oh, good, now there's no confusion. I don't have to be like guessing. And
but she was drunk.
She was very drunk. No, I'm not suggesting that's fine. I'm just saying like, and of course, it's all right. So he resists her offers, and she starts to cry, and things are just emotional all over the place. So then, he flips the coin, or when the coin landed on the dirt, did we?
Yeah, and then it gets sucked under the dirt by some mysterious power that I don't quite understand. Is the coin going to resurrect her? The coin that he got from Mr. Leprechaun, Mad Sweeney.
Yes, that was sort of the deal.
Which is apparently real gold.
Real gold, because he was pulling coins out of the air, dumping them into a cup.
And Shadow Moon kind of knows sleight of hand tricks himself, but Mad Sweeney was on a whole other level.
Yes, as you would expect a leprechaun to be.
Magically delicious.
Yeah. Oh, hello there. Oh, who stole my Lucky Charms?
Yeah, I remember he said, "Oh, you can't be a leprechaun. You're too tall." He goes, "That's a stereotype."
Yeah, that's a stereotype. Yeah.
I can't do accents, by the way.
Yeah, you can't. I can't either, but I still try. I still fucking do them. Then the coin going down. Like I was thinking, is she gonna come back a zombie? Did that release her ghost? Did it do some sort of turn the leprechaun man? Is he in the soul of the coin, and the coin is going to become then implanted into this corpse thing?
It's going to come up, and it's going to be Laura Moon in front of him. Slate me!
She's going to have a big red beard, and she's wearing like a Notre Dame sweatshirt, and she's going, "Come on, put up your dukes here. Let me bake you some cookies." There's a pot of gold. It's okay to make fun of leprechauns because they're not real. Just like it's okay to make fun of bald people. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with the coin thing.
Yeah.
Everybody watching this has probably already seen multiple episodes. We've only seen the first one, so we don't know. All right. Oh, so then the next scene was him walking down the road, seemingly without his car. I don't know what. They needed a cool set piece. All the streetlights go out above them. They're kind of lined up on both sides of the road.
Yeah, and I didn't quite. You said he needed the set piece. I didn't quite understand why he would abandon his car because clearly he borrowed the car, which Mr. Wednesday referred to as Betty.
Yep.
Because from now on, you're going to be driving Betty.
Not creative at all.
And I would have named it Susan. Yeah, and he said something. I'm going to tell you this once and once only in your entire life. Will you hear this from me? Take all the time you need.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, oh, is that sort of saying like I can outweight you no matter what you're up to in your life? You now belong to me.
Well, I think it was saying like from now on you're at my beck and call. I'm never going to tell you to take all the time you need ever again.
Oh.
So don't get used to it.
Oh, this is your last time to take all the time. I took it as like no matter how much time you take, there is no. I will always be here.
That's plausible too.
Yours makes more plausible sense. Okay, so the lights go out and he sees some sort of like flickering, sort of sparking, but kind of like lightning buggy sort of thing, like hovering over a device. He comes up to it into the field, or just off the road.
Yeah, and it starts wigging out and transforming and moving around into weird polygons and stuff until it forms this like weird helmet that shoots off the ground and affixes to his face like a face hugger from Alien Covenant.
Yeah, like that, or like an HTC Vive 2. Like another version of virtual reality, because it forms a couple little eye docks.
Yeah, it doesn't even need a head strap.
Yeah, no head. Well, it does straps right around his head, and suddenly he's in like a strange inside of a bus,
it's
or
like a limo,
like a limo, or like a spaceship, and there's a teen, a curly-haired teen. He's got kind of a millennial vibe about him, a young fella.
And I looked him up to see if I'd seen him in anything before. His name was Bruce Langley, and it says here that his name. Let me tell you what his call name is on there, because we didn't learn it this episode. So
no, I don't want to know.
No, okay, yeah, it's fairly easy to guess, but you'll be like, when you hear it next episode, I'm hoping you'll be like, oh, okay.
The god of chaos, is he the? Let me get. So he's an American god, and he's a teen, and I'm gonna say he is the god of Disneyland.
Yep.
He's funnel cake.
Yep.
He's a piece of diabetic pie.
Falafel boy.
He is. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to learning, but I like to be surprised by stuff. So then he has goons who have no faces. They're like mannequins.
Yeah.
They're like crash test dummies. They have like weird brown no face heads.
And
they just
appear next to him. There's two right next to him.
And they sort of form out of nothing.
Yeah, and he gives them commands, and they immediately spring to his command. He's like, kill him.
Yeah.
Don't kill him.
But he's there, and he's going, what do you know about Dr. Wednesday? Or Mr. Wednesday. What's he up to? What's he doing here? So basically, he's like looking for information, because
Mr. Wednesday is apparently an adversary of his.
Obviously, they're foils. Obviously, they have had exchanges in they're in some ways involved, and not in a positive manner. That's the sense I got.
Yeah. And we should mention before this, there have been a bunch of foreshadowing shots of nooses all over the place.
Yes. First in the prison. There was a lot of that. There was at least one or two more noose shots in there.
Always in reference to Shadow Moon, which I thought was a little distasteful considering the
He's
history.
A black guy, yeah.
Well,
that's a show about America.
You can't ignore that kind of crap is happening.
Ignoring race is a factor in American society, because some people pretend
just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, or that it's still not a thing that needs to be hashed out. And hopefully we end up at a point where everybody just fucks each other enough that we're all medium brown, because enough of this goddamn racism. I'm tired of it, James. I've had enough. By that I mean, like, whether or not we ever actually reason our way out of the stupid ancient hatreds that permeate our society, we will fuck our way out of it, because it's fun. And then you have people that are slightly that look like they're always tan. That's like 400 years from now. All right, so I solved it.
You think we're gonna live that long?
No, not you.
As a human race.
Yeah. We're adaptable.
We'll find a way to blow ourselves up.
Yeah, there'll be like mutant people from the Trump North Korea nuclear winter.
I think the dinosaurs are going to come back from their spaceship and be like, we were out for vacation.
Yeah.
Give it back.
You guys had it so good. You had air conditioning and cookies. Why did you fuck it up? Why did you let the corporations have so much control? Yep. All right, so that's getting into politics. So, that's real cogent political analysis. All right, so we're coming on over a half hour. It's all right. We always go long.
Okay. So we're pretty much at the end, though.
We're getting there. Yeah. So, but okay, Moon didn't really have a lot to reveal. He's like, I don't know. I just started working from this morning.
Yeah, and the guy keeps saying, tell me what Mr. Wednesday's up to. Speak in short sentences, get straight to the point, or I'll kill you.
Yeah. There is the thing where he goes, "Do you want to smoke?" Though before that, and that was funny. That he's like, "No, I don't smoke." I was like, "Really? You're out of prison? You're not gonna fucking take a hit?"
I thought you just said no, thank you.
Yeah, something. I thought he explained it doesn't. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, he goes, he blows smoke rings at him like Gandalf. Yeah. You know how Gandalf does the bow.
And he's hitting him and putting him in this like hallucinatory phase.
Right into his face.
But it turns out that what he's smoking is actually like toad skin.
He goes, it's not cigarettes, it's not tobacco, it's not weed. He goes, and so it turns out to be, I wrote it down, synthetic toad skins. Yeah, and then they cut to a shot of like a toad inside a little bit of a liquid inside his vape pen. I thought that was a cool touch. I thought that was interesting. It's like toads have psychoactive shit. Maybe they can be poisonous. I mean, I don't know if they're whatever. Everyone I've licked, I've never done anything, but I keep trying whenever I find one. So he doesn't give up anything. He doesn't really. He doesn't know what this guy wants, right? Yeah. So then he just says, "Kill him," or
Shadow Moon basically says something to him that's long drawn out and is a direct insult to him.
Oh, do you remember what?
No, it was basically saying something like, "Oh well, I have nothing to say to you, and even if I did know something, I wouldn't tell you because, like you said, I work for Mr. Wednesday, so why would I have any reason to talk to you?"
Yeah.
And and the guy looks back at him and says, "Like, oh, then why am I wasting my time talking to you?" And he goes, "Well, that's exactly the point. So why don't you drop me off at the corner or something like that?" And he goes, "Oh, kill him."
Yeah, kill him.
And then suddenly more than 2 appear. Like, there's like 6 of them or so suddenly in the small room, punching him.
And then the roof opens and he gets tossed out.
Well, he says something like, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to do something worse. I'm going to delete you."
Yeah, that's right. That was
and
so is the kid a hacker? Is that like his thing? He's like a teen hacker?
You're very close.
Yeah. But is he the internet? Is that his guy?
No, not quite like that. But you're on the cusp of
AOL. He's AOL. He's a CD.
Yep.
He's a 1996.
He is Netscape Communicator.
Netscape Communicator.
But he says that undeleting is not an option. So the guy gets sucked out into space, and suddenly he's on the ground being beaten up in a field.
And it's raining. It's wet. Yeah. And these dudes are just pounding on him, and he can't fight them off. Then they tie a noose around his neck, and
and it's kind of like, if you think about it this way, it's like they're all dressed in white, and they have no identity because they have no faces.
Right.
Isn't that just pretty much like an allegory of the KKK right there?
In a way, yeah. That's certainly undeniable. They weren't making it about race, though. I didn't think. I mean, obviously, like we said, like, and you and I are 2 white guys, so
it's hard not to see it that way.
Totally, and if you do see it that way, I think you're onto something. And I think I'd say it's a compliment to the show, though, is they're not completely hitting you over the head with everything. I mean, let me rephrase. They're not explaining everything like you're stupid. They're keeping a lot back, that leaving things open to interpretation. But I felt that the storytelling was quite compelling. And I have hope and trust and faith that the next episodes are going to answer some of the questions that they're posing. I think good shows like Handmaid's Tale, they don't explain too much. They don't really get in. They don't bother with like giving you answering all the questions they know you have.
Under his eye.
Yeah, fruit be blessed.
Praise be.
Praise be blessed.
By his hand.
By his hand. Ceremony night. So then they hang him, and his hands go limp, and he's hanging from a tree. All of a sudden, though, we see blood flowing in this, and it's a very sort of music video-ish show. Like, they have a lot of cool camera movements, and the blood sort of is by shoes, and then he kind of there's like a cracker, like a cracker. That sounds but like a thunder crack, like a lightning bolt starting to go off, right? Or am I?
It's something like that, and then it's a close up on the rope, and the rope is suddenly severed.
Yeah,
and then he's falling in slow motion. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we see the faceless dudes, just like one of them just gets split right down the middle. Yeah. But his skull goes launching.
His spine is disconnected. Yeah, it's completely over the top.
Beautiful slow motion. Yes, like I said, silly but not stupid.
Yeah, and we don't know who his savior is. We don't know who's doing this. My personal prediction is that it's Mad Sweeney.
Oh, really? Yeah. That was an interesting dynamic between Mad Sweeney and Dr. Wednesday, because they were in the bar. Oh, whatever. They were in the bar together, but and Mad Sweeney was like adversary.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't you know who this guy really is?"
Yeah, he was.
He's a liar. He's a con man. He's a thief. He's conning you.
I can't think of the fucking word I'm trying to think of.
Adversarial.
Antithetical. Not.
He's an antagonist.
Antagonize. Yeah, he was like antagonizing him, but he wasn't disrupting or being angry. He was just like, "Hey, watch out, watch out." But Mad Wednesday,
Mad Wednesday,
Billy Wednesday was like, didn't seem to care that Mad Sweeney was there at all.
Even brought him a drink.
Yeah, he's like, almost like they're like coworkers who get along, but they're not really
perhaps
friends.
Known each other for thousands of years.
More than likely, yeah. So back when the leprechauns ruled the place, and the guy from Deadwood did too. Is he the devil? Do you think that's his thing? Is that kind of
could be? I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he's like Benjamin Franklin or something.
I mean, it is one of the worst days of the week. It's like you're not quite, it's hump day.
Yeah, it's hump day. Yeah,
sucks.
That would be. There's got to be a porn star god, because Americans love their.
It's Ron Jeremy. We already see him. We know him.
Yeah, his
Praise be.
He grows a bat out of his pants and just starts bonking people in the head with it. So then, that's the end of the show, though, right? We
don't know who saved him. We don't know why the massacre happened, who did the massacre. We just know that this strange person in this weird white limo that attacked Shadow Moon has been completely, not him, but his goons have been completely annihilated by someone.
Something intervened, yeah. And it was pretty cool. So, okay, that's the summary.
Yeah.
The summary takes 40 minutes or 35 minutes. So
and
now
you're going to animate all of that, right?
See, that's the thing. We don't know what I got to come up with something to put on the screen. That's
Maybe some like cat videos or something.
I don't know. This is going to be hard. So and I can only animate like about up to 4 minutes before I lose my sanity because it's so tedious to do multiple takes. But all right, so your response. Are you excited about it? Did you like it?
It hasn't really gotten to full pace yet. It's still setting up the characters, setting up the universe, setting up the initial story. So I thought it was an interesting first episode, but I've seen a lot of shows where the first episode was interesting and then it just tanks afterwards. So I'm apprehensive.
Like Breaking Bad. JK.
So I'm apprehensive, but I'm definitely going to keep going forward with it.
All right. I like to hear that. I liked it. I just thought there was a lot of, they earned a lot of faith in me, meaning like the way they told the story made me want to see what else they do with other storylines with other episodes. I kind of already touched on that earlier, like the conceit that that's a good word, huh? James makes me sound smart. I don't even know if I used it right, honestly, but that they can play with American lore and American things and do all that stuff, and we'll see where that goes. There's going to be a Constitution monster, like he just gives out paper cuts and lies. Just
the bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, not that the Constitution's full of lies, but we don't enforce it as if it matters to. It's a political it's a tool for being manipulated for politics, whatever. I liked it though. I was excited. I can't wait to see the next episode. I hope that when we get back from McDonald's, you and I sit down with our own American gods and we watch another one. If you're down for it, or maybe we'll just do this later. But anything else to add? Production quality or sound, music? A lot of music. Yeah. They carry the story with music quite well.
That's another thing I'm a little worried about because it seemed like they kind of blew the budget a lot on special effects in this first one to kind of set the tone. I don't know what kind of budget this entire season has.
Apparently, you've never heard of Starz Network. Fuckface.
Starz.
They're a powerhouse.
No.
Starz
is like Cinemax. No one has Starz.
Starz is the best. Starz is. No, I'm just joking. It's poor people cable. Yeah, that's why I had it when I was a kid.
It's like HBO, and then below HBO was like Showtime. It's like, Dad, don't buy Showtime, get HBO. But Showtime is $5 cheaper. And then if you're really unfortunate, you don't even have Showtime, you have Starz.
No, you have Cinemax.
And then Starz.
No, and then Netflix.
Netflix is above everything.
I know. Well, nowadays, but Starz is basically like you got Coca-Cola is HBO, Pepsi is Showtime.
And then you have the Costco Jazzy Juice.
So Cinemax is Tab. And Starz is a Tab knockoff called Rab.
Yes, exactly.
or Costco Jazzy Juice or whatever. Costco Jazzy Juice. That's funny, man. That's hilarious. But hey, they're making their mark, man. Starz. Look, Hulu. We're watching fucking Handmaid's Tale on fucking Hulu.
Yeah.
Who the hell ever knew Hulu had good stuff? Hulu is more like a Netflix that just doesn't. They're like yeah, they're good. They're okay.
Hulu was initially launched as an ad-supported platform, and has since changed to a subscription-on-demand platform.
Right.
And no longer does its free ad-supported services.
Yes, I used to watch stuff on there with the ads. I used to watch Hell's Kitchen, and and they're smart to do that because obviously it was working for Netflix and it wasn't working for the way they were doing it. But I mean, it's kind of cool to see. I'm glad this is on Starz, to be honest. Even though we're only doing the 7-day free trial on Amazon, because as Amazon Prime members get a freebie. So when my 7 days is up,
I can start my 7 days.
James is going to start his 7 days,
and then after that, we both die.
We die.
That's how it works.
Yeah, we've started a 14-day clock.
Yeah,
this is the weird version of Death Note, but this is like I'm poor. I don't have any money, but this show costs money. I mean. So that's one reason why we're doing Patreon, though. Maybe help with some. Yeah, eating McDonald's. I eat the same $5 burrito every day. But if you guys want to help us out with Patreon, if the link's not there, it will be eventually. I'm working on the stuff right now to get it ready. And so that's another way people, if they find enough value and they feel like they want to support financially, it helps us pay for like a Starz subscription or something, or maybe the Hulu one. Because Hulu, I'm doing the 30 days on Hulu for Handmaids, and it's going to run out. And I made a note to, so.
And then I'll pick mine in.
Yeah, and then James is going to do his. But it would be cool eventually if we don't have to worry about that stuff. And that's one of the nice things about Patreon. Plus, I like having a dollar bill in my pocket, James. What if I need to make it paper cut? So that's it. Guys, James, anything? 45 minutes?
No.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm not even sure what I'm going to put on the screen during this. I might even go take screenshots for all I fucking know. It's going to be a lot of work. It's just as much work as come up with something to put on the screen.
Just run an episode of Full House. Actually, it's not long enough. You need 2 episodes.
Yeah, I could just do it half speed.
Yeah.
But like and subscribe. That's also we also always love getting new subscribers and new people liking, and let us know in your comments. What did you think about the episode? Most people probably. Hopefully, we can get caught up before the season's over. We're going to try.
How many episodes are out?
I think it's 4.
4?
I'm not sure. All right, through the power of Google and editing, James has confirmed the next episode is May 21st on Sunday. So that's episode 4. So we could probably get caught up before then if we really hustle.
Yeah, we might be able to.
Yeah, it's not always easy for you guys both to have this much time out. That's also why I was like, let's do it in 15 minutes, James. Now here are 45 minutes.
But that tells me that I liked it more than I thought I did.
That's true. Yeah, that's totally right. And it took James about 2 years to warm up to being my friend. He used to, every time I'd leave my room, I'd hear this. I'd hear little feet running away because he wanted to skitter away into a log.
Yes.
And hide. And I'd just see a pair of eyes emerging from the darkness as he'd blink and hope I didn't see him. But
That's a trivia question to end it on.
All right.
What TV series is this quote from? The owls are not what they seem.
Oh, Dog the Owl Hunter. I have no idea.
Twin Peaks?
Oh, Twin Peaks, yes. So we're going to do shot by shots for that one. That's going to be cool. We're going to piss off a lot of people with that because I'm going to say a bunch of stupid shit because that show's fucking crazy.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I got to brush up.
Yeah, and I barely watched any of it back in the day. I know more about X-Files and that crap. So, all right.
David Duchovny's in it.
Is he?
In the original one, he was a woman.
Oh. What? Okay, see, I'm already... Sorry, whatever. It's crazy. Goodbye, everybody. James, goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye.
Kiss me.
No.
Kiss me. I will worship you. I will worship you except for your gonads. No gonad worship. I do not want to get slurped up like a lumpy smoothie from 7-Eleven where the smoothie machine is broken and is spitting out lumps, which may or may not be tapioca pudding or hot dog bits. I will worship you, my Lord and Savior, my American God.